Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
So I got a dollar tip, but again, I think people completely misconstrue what I'm saying. What this person is saying is, if you have a good daytime stream, then you shouldn't care what you make on the night stream. You've missed the point. You have missed the point. You understand? Here's the point I'm making. Is, again, I keep telling you this and saying this, and some people misconstrue it because you know why? They want to believe the toxic negative thing.
Okay, so we're starting off this segment with just assuming that anybody who misunderstands what he's saying is instantly just a negative, toxic person. That's a hell of a way to start the video, but pretty on brand for DSP. But I agree, if he has a good day stream, he shouldn't worry about how much money he makes on the night stream. I'll take it one step even further and say that his content would benefit if he didn't make a big deal out of how much money he made on any stream. But I can sit here and say that till I'm blue in the face and it won't actually change anything. But almost nobody is interested in watching a stream where they're being hounded for money. I don't know why he refuses to understand that. But yes, okay, we're misconstruing what you say and we're negative, toxic people, and go.
I want you, for one moment, I want you to clear your mind. I want you to pretend like my detractors don't exist. I want you to pretend like I'm just saying something fresh for the very first time.
Okay, you guys heard him. For a little bit, I'm going to stop existing. I apologize. But make sure to clear your minds and forget everything you know about the guy and forget all of the scummery that he's done before this point, because that's about the only way he's ever going to convince anybody of anything. But go ahead and do that, and I'll just let him say his piece.
Okay? Pretend like there's no other factor involved. And I know that's incredibly hard to do, to have a clear mind and just think clearly about something. All right? My philosophy on content creation that has worked for 15 years, all right, is that if you're making positive and fun content for your viewers, and if your viewers are enjoying the content, they will reciprocate by supporting said content.
All right, I'm getting tired of not existing. I gotta pop in here and stop the guy right now. I think we really need to qualify what exactly a successful philosophy in business is, because I think you would have a hard time convincing me that filing for bankruptcy is necessarily a successful business move. If he's gonna categorize success as just being able to live, yeah, I guess overall he's been fairly successful. He is still alive. As ghoulish as he looks, he's still alive. But between the bankruptcy, the back taxes, the house that's falling apart, and his constant rattling of the tin can for more of your money, I'm not willing to chalk this up to a success. I just can't justify it in my own head, sorry. But like he said at the beginning, you have to forget all about all of that. You just have to look at him right now and understand that he is still living and breathing, so therefore his business strategy and his philosophy towards his business must be successful. Sound good? It sounds good to me.
Now, that will not necessarily happen every single time. There will be some extenuating circumstances. It's like people have said, there's going to be a slow time every once in a while. That's fine. I get that. I totally understand that.
Do you understand that though? Because every single time there's a slow stream, you bring it up. Now at this point, he's had 2 slow night streams back to back and he's suspicious of something. But when it was just the one stream, the Modern Warfare 3 stream, he got on his podcast the next day and immediately was talking about how the stream was slow and he didn't understand why, and he didn't know if people were interested in the game he was playing or not. So I'm not convinced that he actually understands that streams can just be slow. No matter how many times that he says that he understands, I don't think he does.
But in general, from someone who is operating a stream and a business, all right, my goal is to put out entertaining enough content for you guys during the course of any given day, all right, that I can make you entertained, and you entertained enough that you'll want to support that content because you liked it so much you want to see it continue. All right?
I mean, that should be the goal of anybody who's an entertainer. So I don't really know why he even bothered saying it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If your job is to entertain people, your goal should be to entertain people so that they pay you money for the entertainment. It's astounding to me that he would bother pig-splaining it and then not act on it at all. Because there's a myriad of ways that he could increase the quality of his streams and be more entertaining, and he refuses to do so. I'm only going to give one example, but someone actually told him the other day that the 20 to 30 minutes that he spends playing music before the podcast is a waste of their time and they don't like it. His response to that is, that's what other streamers do, so I'm going to keep doing it. It works. As someone who actually watches his streams live, not on his channel, thank Christ, but actually watches his streams live, it is a huge waste of my time. I don't care for the music. It's the same music on repeat every single day. I'm tired of hearing it. It's not funny. It's not interesting. He could just start a show right up, and then any extra time that he had from not playing the 20 to 30 minutes worth of music, he could use to actually get further in the games that he's supposed supposed to be playing.
At face value, that statement is correct, right?
Due to your previous actions, DSP, I'm going to say no, that statement is not accurate for you at all. But if I were to forget everything that I know about you, I guess I would have to say yes, but that's the only way that this works.
So it stands to reason. If you're here for a daytime stream and you're having a really good time and you support it, great. If you're here for a nighttime stream and it's a completely different game and you enjoy it and you're here and you support it, great. If there's a stream that doesn't get support, you'll wonder why. What was the reason? What was the root cause? Could it have just been one-off bad situation? Yes, it could be. But the feedback I'm receiving is that it's not. That there's a pattern with these late-night multiplayer streams, and that's what we're trying to figure out.
I mean, it's not just the late-night multiplayer streams, but okay. The single-player late-night streams are also particularly slow. I can't tell you how many times he's complained that Starfield was not being entertaining enough for people to tip. But that really could be for a host of different reasons. I mean, the fluctuation in his audience size from day to night is like 100 people. That's like 100 people that aren't going to be tipping now because they're literally not on the stream. Also, the $20 1 Minute Man tip comes in every single day during the day stream. So that stream's artificially inflated from the jump. The night stream has $20 to make up every single night to be on par with the day stream, I mean. Those are just two reasons right off the top of my head, but he instantly just, again, jumps to some weird conspiracy about what's going on and why they're so much slower. But I guess we'll just let conspiracy side Phil tell his tale.
But when you say something to me like, oh, well, your daytime stream did really well with support, so you shouldn't even care about your nighttime stream, and I'm offended that you do. That's absolutely ridiculous. You've missed the point. I'm not complaining that the support was low all day. No one said that.
You might not have said expressly that, but the problem is that it comes off that way. But I'm pretty sure that's what you meant anyway, so it's probably accurate that when it came off like that. And I don't think you're looking at this from the perspective of your viewers. If the same viewer watches the daytime stream and donates and then watches the nighttime stream and doesn't donate, I mean, they already supported you. They shouldn't have to donate twice in the same day. They're kind of, in a way, donating for both streams that they're enjoying. So they're being scolded for a low support stream when they already maybe tipped you on the earlier stream. They probably have a right to be offended at that point because you're coming off like an ass. Besides, if your primary goal is to make a fun and entertaining stream for your viewers, you should never hound them for money because that's not fun or entertaining. Besides that, you've actually yelled at people donating to you before about how they donate, telling them to just donate in one lump sum to get their message read out or whatever instead of multiple donations for multiple messages because YouTube takes more fees or something out of it if it's multiple messages instead of one lump. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's your supporters are donating during the day stream, they enjoy it, they watch it, and then they don't donate during the night stream because they already sent all the money that they were going to send you for the day during the first stream. Now, I don't know if that's exactly the case, but it makes sense in my head. It could be a reason, but I couldn't imagine that you actually thought about it hard enough to come up with an excuse, to come up with a reason. I mean, you're full of excuses, but never good ones.
My goal is to make every stream entertaining enough for you that you enjoy it and that people will reciprocate with support. Do you understand? That's the point.
You gotta love him actually hitting his desk while he's saying this so that it picks up on the microphone. But I think his problem is he's getting lost in that last step. He's not really concerned with putting out a better product to get the reciprocation. He's just worried about the reciprocation. And that's such a weird way to put it. It almost just seems too clinical to call it reciprocation. I don't think you should really have that kind of clinical relationship with your viewing audience. That just seems strange to me.
If I have a stream where basically it's very slow, it makes me feel like I failed. It makes me feel like I've done a bad job. I'm supposed to be giving you content you like and you want to continue. So why on earth would I be happy with a slow stream? I shouldn't be. I should be upset that I failed somehow, and I want your feedback on how to improve that stream.
But low support doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't enjoying the stream. I don't understand how he's not getting this. People do not have to support when they enjoy something. It's not required. As long as his chat is actively engaged with him and having a good time and saying that they're having a good time, his viewership numbers are up, and he's having a good time, there really shouldn't be any issues. I'm sure it's great when people have a good time and do feel obligated to support, but it's not a requirement, and it's weird that he thinks it is.
It's a moot point that over the course of the day, it was a good day. Did I say last night, oh my God, I had a slow Street Fighter stream. Going out of business. That's it. World is ending. Sky is falling. No one said that. You want to know who said that? My fucking detractors. So stop listening to them.
I mean, you might not have said that the world is ending and all of that nonsense, but you did bother bringing it up. You spent 2 or 3 minutes talking about it in the daily wrap as well. Now, if you want to say that's because you're worried they're not having a good enough time to support or whatever, like, sure. But then the problem is that you need to work on your warped reality of how your interactions should work with your viewers. Like, if we accept your justification for bringing up support all the time is you being worried that your chat is not having a good time watching your stream, and that's why they're not supporting, the problem then becomes so much deeper. Because then the problem is that you fundamentally don't understand how you need to be interacting with your chat and how other streamers interact with their chat. Which is 100% true. There's no denying that you have no idea how to interact with these people. But I don't believe that's your main reason. I think it's genuinely because you like to beg. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. His detractors do tell other people when he is crying poor and he has low streams. This is factual. I don't personally think that there's anything wrong with letting people know that he's having low streams or whatever. But yes, detractors do that. There's no denying it.
No one said that. There's a difference between being very business-minded, matter-of-fact, want to create entertaining content you want to support, versus, oh my God, this is awful. Now he's going to be e-begging all day. No one's e-begging. No one.
So you might not be directly begging right now because you're kind of in the middle of a cope segment, but unfortunately every segment you do is kind of a subtle beg at this point. That's what we call it here in the industry, the subtle beg. There's always an undertone of asking for money with you. It feels like every time you talk about something, you could follow it with hint, hint, and it would just fit right along with it. Guys, I can't win these Street Fighter matches because I don't have a powerful PC like everybody else. Hint, hint. Guys, these late streams are low support. I wonder what's going on. Hint, hint. Man, these last few days have been really low on support. I hope I can afford to have dinner with my wife on my day off. Hint, hint. You see what I'm saying? It just comes off terrible. Despite you not actually asking for money straight up, it always feels like you're hinting that someone should be giving you money.
The world didn't end because I had a slow Street Fighter stream last night. I want to know why I had that slow stream so I can improve for the better for you. I want to make myself better. But it's weird because if I say that, people always say, no, that's not what he really means. Yes, it is. Just because you're a shitbag and all you believe is toxic shit so you can make toxic content about me doesn't make what you say true. I'm telling you I want to improve my business. I want things to do good at every stream. I want every stream to be great.
I personally have a hard time believing that he wants to make every stream great. I said it earlier in the video, he has taken actions directly to make sure that his streams do not get any better. How long did it take him to get direct capture? He still doesn't play on PC despite how much easier it would make his life. His background is a cobbled together mess. He should have got a green screen so long ago. He refuses to do any editing whatsoever for his on-demand videos. He can't even be bothered to do his own thumbnails or animations for his streams. He can't be bothered to get screenshots for the articles that he reads on DSPN. I say articles, but we know he's just reading Twitter posts. And again, when someone brought up the shitty music that he plays at the beginning of every stream, he refused to get rid of it. He didn't even say that he would bother shortening it. 20 minutes of dead air after the podcast so that he can go to the bathroom. Just leave that in. People love that, right? These are all simple things that he could do that would improve his stream exponentially. But he's not interested in that. That's not something that he wants to do.
And I'm not satisfied when I have streams like that aren't. I had a Modern Warfare 3 stream and then a Street Fighter stream, and they were the same. They were both late night multiplayer streams. I said, how did they both do badly? Let's figure this out. I asked, and I got useful feedback. If I didn't ask that question, I wouldn't have gotten the feedback I just got that was going to allow me to improve my content. So wouldn't you rather have me ask the question and get the feedback so we can improve? Or should I just be grateful for everything so much that I never ask for improvements, and therefore we just sit here and just accept it all?
I mean, it's great that you're asking for feedback, I suppose, but it is peculiar to me which feedback you're willing to accept and not accept. And I think the main factor in that is that this is directly related to how much support you're getting. All of those suggestions that I just gave previously and that other people have come up with in the past, like the music and things, none of those are directly related to him getting more support at all.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not taking offense at what you're saying in your tip. You're approaching it from the wrong direction. It's not about how much I made. How about this? How about this? Everyone stop fucking counting dollars. All right? Stop. You want to know who does that? A fucking nosy, intrusive scumbag.
I mean, don't you count the dollars, though? Aren't you the one checking your email every 5 minutes just waiting for that $1 tip to come through? Isn't that what you do all stream long?
Who wants to say, look at every dollar someone made on a stream. Where did it go? What did it do? Stop with that fucking toxic ass mentality. Stop it. It's not helping anything. it's actually making things worse. Because when you have that mentality, all you care about is what this says down here rather than what's the fucking 99% of the stream up here, right? Who cares about this fucking bar down there? You should care about what's up here.
I know you couldn't see it, but he was pointing at the tips bar and whatnot at the bottom. I zoomed in too much, you can't see it anymore. But if he doesn't want people to keep track of this shit, then why doesn't he just take the bar away? It doesn't add anything to the stream. I don't think anyone actually cares. If he's truly worried about the quality of his content, that bar adds nothing to the content. It'd even be a benefit to him because then he's more likely to get away with scamming his viewers out of not putting the gunner glasses and hat and shit on. There you go, DSP. There's your next suggestion for the box. Get rid of the goddamn bar. Could you imagine the amount of time he would save every single stream if he didn't have to update that stupid bar?
Right? So why is it a concern? Who cares? In truth, how did you even know that I had a good day yesterday on the Assassin's Creed stream? Were you there? No, you weren't, because I know you are.
You gotta love when he starts singling people out. I know who you are, and you weren't there. It's such a strange thing to do to somebody. Like, it's vaguely threatening, but at the same time, it's DSP, so who actually cares? But it's definitely not a good look, and will get clipped like this.
I know you weren't there, yet you were on the late stream, right? You watched the detractor video that said, oh, he did good on the first stream, bad on the late stream, but he wasn't happy. You watched the detractor video. Stop it.
Or, and this is just the first thought that popped into my head, maybe that person missed the day stream and then caught up on the content via your videos on demand and knows how you did. That's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Is that not something he would expect a fan of his to do? If you miss one stream, I would imagine that you would just watch the video on demand and then watch the stream that you can actually catch. But obviously DSP knows this person personally. He went through their YouTube search history and he saw that he watched Duty's video for sure. He saw all those Snort Hogan videos and is recently watched. DSP knows that for a fact.
Just fucking stop. You're hurting yourself and you're dumbing your fucking brain cells down to a dunce level, listening to their toxic shit. No one gives a fuck about what they say.
For someone who says that they don't care about what the detractors are saying, you seem awfully aggro about it. You seem awfully concerned that your viewers are watching detractor content. If nobody cares what they say, then why does it matter if they watch it? Obviously, it's just because they unravel all of the narratives that he tries to spin every single day. Hard to keep the story going when people are constantly poking holes in it.
I want my content to be good for you on every single stream. If I didn't ask the question last night, I would have known that that's the problem. That actual regulars are staying away from these late night streams because of the level of trolling. They don't want to put up with that shit. Now I know. If I didn't ask, I wouldn't have known. And we never would have tackled it. I should have, oh, I'm just happy with how the day stream went. Oh, well, let the night streams go to hell. No, that's not how you operate a business. It's just not, all right?
I would highly consider not taking business advice from a man who has filed for bankruptcy. Just an FYI. At least not this man who's filed for bankruptcy. Maybe go talk to 50 Cent or something, but not this guy.
So, there you go, and I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. And again, I don't take offense to what you're saying. I do feel like you are personally taking it from the wrong toxic perspective, probably because of outside influences. And that's not a good way to go through it. It's just not. You'll always see it through their very messed up, skewed perspective, and you'll never actually understand what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to do here, and make content good for everyone. You'll never believe that.
Yes, if you look at all of the other things that people say about DSP, you'll never fall for the pignosis. And that's a huge problem, obviously, dude. Can't be having any of that. That's his best weapon. If that starts to fail, he's pretty much SOL. Crazy to me that he has to tell people not to watch other content about him. Shouldn't it be telling that all of these people have said the same thing about you again and again and again throughout the years, with multiple different examples of you doing the same thing over and over again, and all of them reaching the exact same conclusion? I mean, that's the problem, obviously, is that it's just too convincing.
You'll just think, oh, where's the dollar signs, right? You're out of your mind. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. If anything, again, in the last year, have I not shown you all that that's not what I'm all about? How many opportunities have presented themselves to do toxic content for money, and I've refused them?
That's because you're a weasel and a rat and has nothing to do with your morals. All of those opportunities that he turned down would make him show his true face. That interview with Mutahar would have made him answer the actual questions he doesn't want to answer and have to spin the same lies that he spun in the Side Scrollers podcast, which he was incapable of doing. The $50,000 that he turned down from Keemstar. I think 50% of that was him straight up not willing to work with anybody else. And the other 50% is because people were going to wonder after he got the money where it all went. went, because he would have got on stream every single day and still begged, and he wouldn't have an excuse as to why he doesn't have any money. The simple reason why he turned down that money is self-preservation. If he were to go do something else for a big payday and make this look bad, this whole begging thing could go south really quick. So why would he take that risk and not just take the safe option, which is come on stream every day and ask for your money? He's just a coward at the end of the day.
I don't want that. So why would you then believe that I'm upset about a stream where I made $10 when I could have made $50,000 and I turned it down? It is nonsensical. You'd have to be a moron to think that, but again, they're morons. That's how they say that shit. Okay. Someone tipped $1 and said, I think that 90% of chat is LARPers and trolls. This has been going on for years. You know, you very well may be right, but I know for a fact that I do have, you know, a good crowd of regulars who enjoy what I do and support it, or else I wouldn't be here, right?
His chat being almost entirely LARPers is probably true. And unfortunately, some of those LARPers are super dented because they give him tips, they give him memberships. And quite frankly, I don't really understand why they would do that. But hey, to each their own. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I just don't think it's a very good idea to support this guy in any way at all.
Anyone who's of this insane mindset that the vast majority of people who support me are my trolls, you're completely misbegotten, or not misbegotten, misguided. That's completely wrong. There are people who've been around for a long time, people who come by daily and enjoy the content, and that's who I'm supporting it. Someone coming on here and throwing, you know, $1 super chat to say something dumb. That's not what keeps me going, man. That's ridiculous, you know.
But 20 different dollar super chats to read a stupid message is what keeps you going, because those add up regardless of what you think. Whether you acknowledge that or not is up to you.
90% is just ridiculous. I would, you know, on any given day, maybe you could argue like half the casual viewers who come by the stream are just here to just observe and troll. But there's no way that you can argue that I would have a business that operates if the vast majority of people here were just idiots, you know.
I wouldn't say 90%, but I definitely wouldn't say 50%. I'd say it's probably about 65, 70%. It's really hard to gauge because his chat moves so slow, no one ever really talks in it. So I have a tough time really gauging how many people are even there. But like I said, I know that on average, the day stream's about 300 people.
You want to know the truth? Yeah, there's people like that, for sure. But you notice their content is nothing like mine. At all. I mean, you know who I'm talking about, right? The people who have to pull stunts, who have to do the drama shit constantly. Yeah, those are the people we're talking about. I don't do that.
And you gotta love when he implies that he doesn't do drama shit. He's the king of drama. He can't go 2 streams in a row without name dropping some other streamer and talking bad about them. In this very stream, when he was talking about his own moderation, he couldn't help but name drop LTG and say that his chat is way worse about moderation than his is. If you want a prime example of that, I would just recommend that you go watch my other video. I know, self-plug. The video titled DSP goes on a neurotic rant about curated content while taking shots at other content creators.
I'm here because people like what I do. I wouldn't be here otherwise. Trust me.
And I said this before as well, there's always going to be at least one person who enjoys what DSP does. So DSP is going to be here forever, just like the roach he is. But that's going to do it for today's video. Again, big ups to Snort Hogan for the clip. You make this so much easier. And obviously a big shout out to all of you guys for coming by for another video. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you come back for the next one. But until then, make sure you check out other detractor channels and dive deeper into that Snortex.